One of my clients one day was like, why don't you open up your own gym? And I was like, well, that's interesting. Artemis is the logo. I drew her.
So you drew your logo. I've always been scared to walk into a gym. Like, there are just some people that are just scared of the gym. Like, I'm like in my comfort zone with yoga and Pilates. And like, that would make me, I was like, that's cool. The Artemis is doing her thing.
And so early on, Legacy was my Nike. Mm-hmm. The Pitbull was my swoosh. Mm-hmm. And then No Days Off is my Just Do It. So that's the best, easiest way for people to kind of wrap their heads on like, what are these pillars that you have? And
Close your eyes and tell me within 3 seconds the order of the studios, and can you remember them in the order?
And if all the boxes don't check off, then I don't do it. I'll say no if every single box is not checked.
Can you share the checklist?
So I've seen the mountaintop. I've seen where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not gonna stop until I get there.
What is the mountaintop? Is it a number? I'm Genevieve Ross, and you're listening to Reforming on Air. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I said it before, but I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you.
It speaks to the Pilates girlies, so they're going to love it.
All right.
Tell me a little bit about yourself for those that, you know, are just like doing Pilates and they haven't had the honor to meet you or tap into your brain. What do you do? Tell us about your company. Tell us everything.
Well, I'm Manning Sumner. I own Legacy and No Days Off. So I'm the founder, CEO of both of those companies. And basically Legacy is our brick and mortar. We call it our like Apple stores, right? And we have 7 locations open with one new one about to open in Nashville. And my very first studio at the time was November 2008 in Wynwood, before it was Wynwood. And now it's grown into way more than studios. Now our largest location is Little River. It's 16,000 square feet with all the bells and whistles.
Oh, wow.
Not Pilates though, so that's always good.
Very complimentary though.
Yes, exactly.
Very complimentary.
So we always tell people to do yoga and Pilates and then come to us as well. And then 3 years ago, I started my own beverage company.
That's exciting.
And we launched our own waters. And then I have an apparel line. So yeah.
Oh, fun.
And I'm a dad and a husband.
That's the best part.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you said you started in Wynwood.
Yes.
The year was 2008. Okay.
Yep.
What made you start your own facility, gym, place? I know that it's more than a gym. I don't even want to say gym because I've seen that it's like a community. It's so much bigger than that.
I was kind of known for training professional athletes and celebrities from about 2001 to 2007-ish, 8. One of my clients one day was like, why don't you open up your own gym? And I was like, well, that's interesting. A year before that, I had been traveling with a lot of my high-end clients. And I started noticing that all the gyms were the same. So, you know, you walk in, there's a front desk area, there's cardio sections with a bunch of TVs. There's this little aerobics room tucked in the corner that all the energy is in. There's a free weight section and there's a machine section. Every single gym you go into, the Gold's Gym, the Equinoxes, all these 24-hour fitness, everybody. And I was like, why is that? And then I come from a college football background. So when you walk into a college football weight room, chalk's flying, music's blasting, shirts are off, the softball team's in the right, the football team, you know, it's energy as soon as you walk in. So I wanted to take that and bring it to the commercial setting and make a gym that felt more like an environment of energy and enthusiasm and community and connection and these things. And so I brought that concept back to...
And why Wynwood? Did you grow up in Miami? Actually, are you a Miami guy?
The funny thing about that was I hired like 3 or 4 real estate agents to find me a location. They kept showing me stuff. And I'm a very intuitive person. So as soon as I walk into a space,
yes or no.
I feel the energy. Like I walked in here, energy was great.
Oh,
Most
good.
of the time it's because of the people in it, right?
Oh, good.
You kind of set the tone of the energy. So every time I walked into a place, it was just, So I was like, no. Then finally one day I literally got on my bike and started biking around.
We're literally twins, because I do that. I don't use a real estate agent.
Yeah, and so I would go down, and literally, I'll never forget it. I was riding my bike down this dead-end street, and I reached the train tracks, and I looked to my right, and there's this huge warehouse for rent. And there was a homeless man sitting there brushing his teeth.
I'll take it.
And I sat on the train tracks, and when I sat on the train tracks, I saw a sports complex. I saw a football field. I saw I saw a massive gym and I literally saw it. Like I saw what I was gonna build. And I'll never forget, I called my business partner and said, I found it. And then he wasn't able to come during the day, so he came at night and there was like 4 hookers on the street, legitimate, like literally hookers. The homeless people were there. It was dark, it was creepy. And he was like, no way. And I was like, yes way, this is it. And I just knew it was it.
So
I just knew it, so yeah.
Okay, now very exciting. I love dogs. Okay, who's the dog?
So
where did that come in?
Artemis.
Okay.
Artemis was my second or third pit bull. What happened was a college buddy of mine had to go to medical school and he couldn't take care of Artemis anymore. So he brought me Artemis to Auburn University and said, hey, I need you to take care of my dog. And she was about probably 4 months old at the time. And so, we just absolutely bonded. And then it was funny because about 4 years later, he tried to get the dog back.
And you're like, no, that's my dog now, yeah.
And Artemis is the logo. I drew her.
So you drew your logo.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
I got the foundation of it. There was a lot of tribal pit bull tattoos on the internet. So I got the kind of the base, but all of them had really weird noses. So I changed the nose completely.
You made it her. So it's that
that
personal
is Artemis,
touch point.
the Greek goddess of hunt.
Aww.
And she actually cured my mom of being afraid of dogs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I brought her home from college. My mom locked herself in the room, said, I'm not coming out.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the trip, she was sleeping in the bed with my mom.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And that's, it's funny because I've always been scared to walk into a gym. Like, there are just some people that are just scared of the gym. Like, I'm like in my comfort zone with yoga and Pilates.
Yeah.
And like, that would make me, I was like, that's cool. The Artemis is doing her thing.
Yeah, so early on, I really, really was very intentional with the branding.
Yeah.
So I was, and I still am, I love Nike, I love Jordan brands. And so early on, Legacy was my Nike, the Pitbull was my swoosh, and then No Days Off is my Just Do It. So that's the best, easiest way for people to kind of wrap their heads and like, what are these pillars that you have? And that,
Okay, so Wynwood opens, does well, we expand. Close your eyes and tell me within 3 seconds the order of the studios and can you remember them in the order?
I tried to close my eyes.
Yeah, okay, no, I just do that to think. But do you remember the order of?
Yes. Wynwood, Coral Gables, Doral, Kendall, Pembroke Pines, Fort Lauderdale, and I think that's it. How many is that?
That's 7.
Yeah, and then Nashville's next. Yeah.
Which out of the ones in South Florida would you say is your busiest, most popular location and why?
Wynwood, definitely. Just because of the longevity, that's the OG.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go to Wynwood on the weekends and not just have the roof fly off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much history.
Yeah.
There's so many, we have people that have been there literally for 17 years. So,
that's incredible.
It's a 17-year-old gym. So just so much history and that definitely is the one,
And so were you intentional because we were very intentional here, like we wanted to grow within South Florida and then expand out of state. Obviously, it sounds like you were very intentional making that branded like footprint here. Why Nashville?
So Nashville is like the 5th fastest growing city in the country right now. I really started paying attention to what happened after the pandemic, like where are people moving to? So I tried to get into Austin, but I missed kind of the bubble, and I got in too late, and so I couldn't find anything. And then Nashville was also on so it was, for me, my radar was kind of like Austin, Nashville, and Atlanta, and the Atlanta and Austin kind of fell through, and then Nashville just all that. So I'm very
everything
particular.
Meant to be came to.
And I'm also very particular. I have like this checklist, and if all the boxes don't check off, then I don't do it. I'll say no if every single box is not checked.
Can you share the checklist or no?
Yeah,
or you don't want to give your
and location. So it's and then also it's ceiling height, which is. It's a deal breaker for me. So I have to have
the high
massive ceilings. So Nashville is 25 feet. So 25 feet. So,
what is the size? What is like the minimum?
10,000 square feet.
10,000. Well, that's big.
Nashville is 11,600 size. Ceiling height, windows. So it has to have natural light. If it doesn't have natural light, I won't do it. Parking. And then there's a lot of like real estate stuff that have to check the box.
Check off, yeah.
So. And that's like
that's
more
the fun
negotiation
stuff, like TI. Are they going to build a free month rent? All the good stuff.
That stuff. But I have a strategy for that. But
now you're at the stage where you can start negotiating that because you guys are.
I'm always negotiating. So,
but you're like made it now where you can.
You're right. Now I have more of a
It's attractive to landlords, you know, to put you in there and
like
you've got the
we're
history.
seen now as kind of like the anchor tenant, you know, that brings in people and
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what is your plan with Nashville? Are you gonna go stay there, or do you plan on?
No, I mean, I'll pulse in and
do
out.
you train at? Do you still train at your locations? Like, do you train clients or?
Not really. I do have one client that I train, my lawyer. He's kind of a lifelong client that I probably won't ever stop. And then like I'll get some of my professional athletes will hit me up and say, hey, I'm in town. And I'll do it every now and then. But for the most part, I don't train. And I definitely stopped teaching classes a long time ago.
So what kind of classes are there that would be complimentary for Pilates girls?
Well, we did. So I came up and patented a system called PIT. So it's partner interval training. So it's something that I created while I was training professional athletes, and it's based off of antagonistic training combined with core and cardio. So it's a push movement, a pull movement, and then a cardio movement. And you go through 20 stations, 2 minutes a station.
Fun. I got to try that. You got to challenge me to that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
You'd love
fun.
it. Yeah. It's very fun. It kind of forces connection. People have to talk to each other. People have to enjoy each other.
Interact. And that's back to what you wanted to create in your space.
Exactly.
Is that. So you've done all the locations. And then at what point do you say, I'm going to go into something that's not service but product-based, and that would be the water? How did that come about?
Yeah, it was really cool. So I was trying to raise money for the gyms, and my business partner at the time, Adam Siegel, wanted me to meet a man named William Mafood, who owns Wasinco. It's the largest food and beverage distribution company in the English-speaking Caribbean and Jamaica. And so he came in, you know, like 7 meetings, 7 dinners, all that stuff, you know, kind of showing him the business. And he said, look, I'm not really into the gym thing. I don't really know anything about it, but I absolutely love your brand, love the dog, love No Days Off. Have you ever thought about doing your own beverages? And then I was like, yes. And then I said, actually, yes, because I got pitched Liquid Death early in like 2017. And I thought it was a great concept. I just couldn't wrap my head around the whole death and murder your thirst and all that. I knew the playbook. And I thought, okay, so if Liquid Death is going to disrupt the budget water space, what if I disrupt the premium water space? And in premium water, you have the ability to make more money anyways, and it's more attractive to distributors. So it was just, I felt like it was a perfect storm with beer and alcohol sales declining, Gen Z and millennials really choosing more health. So it was like,
And so what was the first? Because this is your sparkling. So you came out with the still, right?
Still and sparkling, we came out at the same time.
Okay.
The white cans of still and the black cans of sparkling. It took me like a year and a half to develop. So it's actually very hard to do good water.
Where do you get the water from?
So right now it's from North Carolina. We do it in North Carolina, and it's put through a 7-step reverse osmosis system that takes it down to the 1 micron. Then we hit it with ultraviolet light, ozone, and tonal pasteurization to absolutely strip out all the impurities. We strip out over 400 impurities, make sure that it's legit, it's absolutely nothing bad in it. Then it took us about 6 months to develop the proprietary blend of essential minerals, electrolytes, the magnesium, potassium, calcium to go back into the water for the function, hydration, and most importantly, the taste.
What is your plan as a businessman? Because I find this so interesting. Is it the growth of the physical brick and mortar, or are you now more focused on product and growing the product line? Obviously both together, but where do you see the trends going in business as to what's going to really take off in the next few years?
Yeah, I see that like with everything that we have with AI and all this like technology, I believe that the new luxury is actually experiences.
Yeah.
And I think that if you can do life with people in real life, so I think gyms are going to be a luxury. It's going to be something that you're not going to watch a screen or, you know, or look at your phone. You're actually going there to do life with people and be a part of a community. So I think that's very important. But I think to grow in that space, you need quality over quantity. So I don't think it's about opening up as many places as you can. I think every single one, make sure that checks all the boxes and make sure that each one is super, super successful. And what I like to do is I like to outdo each new facility. So it's like
so everyone's better than the last.
Exactly. Like learn from the mistakes that you made, and there's always mistakes, and then do the next one better and just keep improving yourself. And that's really what No Days Off is. It's never taking a day off on you. It's a commitment to becoming your best self, and you have to do that in everything you do.
Have you read the book, The Slight Edge?
No,
by Jeff Olson.
I'll have to check that out. The Slight Edge. Okay.
Because that
I'm
reminds
a
me
reader,
so much
so I
of
definitely-
your, like everything that you're preaching. It's basically how it's the tiny little habits that you do daily that give you the slight edge over your competition. And that's exactly what No Days Off sounds like. Like
Yes.
it's just like every day showing up, being your best self. I think you'd like that.
Yes, definitely. Slight Edge.
Jeff Olson.
Okay.
Slight Edge. I think you'd really like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone's watching this. They're a young entrepreneur. They're hungry. They're saying, okay, that sounds great, Manning, but you did this in 2008 when there was nothing in Wynwood. How do I break into the space now when and in my space, every single housewife has a Pilates studio? It's like, it seems harder, and especially in Miami, there's just it's just like there's a bubble that's growing, and it's eventually gonna burst.
Right.
Well, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs to be like, you can do the brick and mortar, you can enter a space that's already so flooded, even though like you said, okay, you missed maybe the Austin, well, I don't think you missed it. I think you're going to come back to it.
It'll come
You're going
back
to come
around.
back to it.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but what advice do you have for them to?
I mean, if a fitness entrepreneur asked me about advice doing fitness in Miami, I would definitely say don't do it.
That's what. Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, I would
that's
literally-
just being honest. Like
That
I
is because
think
the bubble's going to burst, and if you're not one of the
Yeah.
top dogs,
that
you're
no
not the
pun
dog.
intended, exactly,
You're not the dog.
exactly, yeah.
The bubble's
I
bursting.
think it's very, very hard to do fitness in Miami right now.
yeah.
Or in
Yeah.
South Florida
Yeah.
in general. There's just, like you said,
It's just too much.
I mean, my Wynwood location, there's probably 130 gyms in walking distance from that. It's crazy. But I would say with anything that any entrepreneur decides to do, you have to, what separates you from your competition?
And for you, all these new ones that are coming in, I know the answer for Pilates, but for fitness, for just anything in general business, how do you make sure that you're still number one?
It is constant communication. You have to communicate with your team and over communicate because you can go over your training manual, your systems, your procedures, but people forget. And you're dealing with, 22-year-old kids that might
Want
not
to show up to work.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's reinforcing the values and belief system that you have for your company. And then also too, it's a people. Like if you're not pouring into your team, your people, then you're not gonna go anywhere. Like, so if you're not required reading, if you're not checking up on their, and I hate to say mental health, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It really is. And so making sure that you're providing an environment for growth, that you're giving them an opportunity. What I say about my gyms is that I'm giving these individuals an opportunity to grow their brand within a brand. Because I think a lot of young fitness people, they want their own thing and they want, Nancy Fitness or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you can have that within our brand, and we're gonna give you this stage, this platform.
We're going to give you the ability to. And then we were talking about, competition and how you outsmart your competition, because it's hard work. It really is outsmarting. It's not,
Well, I wouldn't even say outsmarting, I'll even say it outworking.
Yeah.
Like it's what I feel like people do is they get a little bit of success and then they take the foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Where I get a little bit of success,
And it motivates
I double
you.
down.
You're like, let's go,
on that
boys.
success. And also too, when you have a vision for your life that others don't see, then what they see as success is not what you've already seen.
Yeah.
So I've seen the mountaintop. I've seen where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not going to stop until I
you
get there. And
what is the mountaintop? Is it a number? So I have a number in my head.
You have a number?
I have
Yeah.
a number. Mine is like $100 million.
Okay.
That's my number. I've always said it. I joke. I'm like, yeah, 100 million. I'll sell for 100.
So I constantly say I'm building $1 billion business.
Okay,
So I want $1 billion business evaluation, right?
Fuck. Well, I mean, you really
then-
are pedal to the metal. I gotta
and
up
then
my.
I want the pit bull to be as recognizable as the swoosh.
Yeah.
Or the Jordan.
Yeah.
So those are the two things for me until
That you
my
get up in the
brand
morning
is
and you're like,
recognizable like that.
Yeah.
I want it like the Apple logo. Like I want it to be that impactful. And then also too, the movement, right? Like No Days Off is a movement that I believe could be a movement globally and that people can attach to their lives, whether they're 5 years old or 85 years old. And I've seen it.
And that comes back to the community that you're talking about
Yeah.
at the gyms and at the facilities. How do you foster that environment that it's not just like you come in, you work out, you leave? I know you spoke about, your
you have to
classes and the
give
touch
them-
points
yeah.
but what do those touch points look like?
So you first have to give them an environment that is conducive for connection, right? So a lot of gyms are sectioned off, and you have like the spinning studio and the yoga, and they're not connected. Ours, everything's open.
Okay.
So even the spa area is co-ed. So it's, joint, it's in the middle of the restaurants, right? And so that's the first thing. Okay. And then also too, like, pay attention to the energy that your staff is bringing into the building. It starts with the front desk person. One of the things that I grew up with was Waffle House. If you crack open the door in Waffle House, it's like, hey girl, hey, welcome to like, as soon as you crack it open, they're saying like, what's up,
Yeah.
And I grew up with that. And so, Chick-fil-A, as soon as it's my pleasure, like, it's just, so initiating the energy and making sure that your staff understands that you are going to make this place thrive, like each one, and like making sure that from the janitor to the front desk to each trainer that everyone matters. Everyone is a part of the experience.
Yeah.
And then I think partner interval training does that. When people are working out together and they're having to spot each other, encourage each other, motivate each other. Then all of a sudden, like we've probably had 10 marriages and 20 babies and come out of Legacy.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, maybe more. But, we've had divorces,
the baby should get
chicks,
free.
Everything. So it's Miami. So and then also I do quotes on the wall. I do words of affirmation. I do things that speak life into people. The music has to be amazing. Cool apparel giveaways and stuff like that.
So it's just
have
building
walking billboards
that
and
community.
Stuff. You mind if I pop it?
Yeah, please. I actually wanted. Okay, so this is the sparkling. You were telling me about it.
Yes, and it's a little softer bubble. So
okay.
One that likes the burn, you might not like it, but it's very refreshing water. The colder, the better.
That is good.
Think?
That's a light bubble, no, but it's sparkling.
Yes, it's still
sparkling.
Yeah, it's still sparkling.
It's good. Where do you sell these? Where would you say your most sales come from?
Mode. I'm being serious. Have you ever been to Mode? The club. Like
That's so funny.
we
That's
run
so
through
cool.
it. So basically what we're doing is we've really opened the eyes to our beer distributors on what we call immediate consumption. So on-premise accounts. So where we are the most successful is the pizza joints, bars, restaurants, gyms, coffee shops, bodegas, Pilates studios, anywhere where you can actually pop the top and drink it, we are massively successful.
Yeah.
It does two things. I'll give you the easiest example. If you go into a grocery store or a C-store, right? There's like a sea of waters that you as a customer have to choose from. But if you go into your favorite coffee shop and you ask for water and they give you a no days off, now the customer is not only purchasing your water, they're also experiencing your brand.
Yeah.
So now they're going to leave that coffee shop if they like it, which most do, and they're going to Google it and find it on Amazon or TikTok shop.
The whole
and then now they're in the ethos.
And the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
So that's probably we're the official premium water of the Miami Heat in the Kaseya Center.
Fun.
We
That's
outsold.
Big.
Yeah, we're the first beverage brand to launch with a major sports team and arena.
That's right.
And
that's
we
big.
outsold Fiji 3x the first year and 6x
well,
the
Fiji's
second
shit.
year.
I'm sorry.
Shit,
I don't know why it's really shit. I don't know.
It's bad.
It's terrible.
It's bad.
Future plans, you said that you've got this vision in your head. You've got the mountain. You see it. It's the $1 billion brand. Where is your dream physical location that you haven't already opened? Where you're like, when I open that, I'm going to look at my partners. I'm going to look at my family. I'm going to be like, holy shit, this is cool. Where is that?
That's a great question.
Where you're like, I've made it in the brick and mortar. Like
I do want to go back to Dubai. I do.
Okay.
I do. I think I
think
I would thrive to go back there.
100%.
I think we would do very well. But it would be cool to go back to my hometown.
Where's hometown?
Birmingham, Alabama.
I think you could do it.
You know, because I grew up there.
Yeah.
And I already kind of see like how it would be done.
Yeah.
And we did launch the waters in Alabama already. So it's starting to, make its way through there. So I think that's big. And then obviously I would say my probably knock it out of the park if I could do it is be Brooklyn. Because I've always seen my brand in New York.
Yeah.
And if I could do Brooklyn, then that would be like, and I already have I want it to be like, outside will be like an old, broken down like factory or like look like it's like the building's falling apart basically. And then, but when you go in, everything's brand new and looks beautiful.
I think that would be sick.
So like it's very like
we used to live in Brooklyn.
A speakeasy, but
we used to live in Brooklyn, and everything's changing. Like you said, we were talking about like even the cans, the packaging. Miami, everyone is gravitating towards health.
Yes.
Those like old Brooklyn sheds that used to be clubs, no one wants that anymore. They want to go to a gym. They want to work on themselves. Like that's that's in. Like
No, it's really
it's
in right now. Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
Okay, I get behind that. So what is your top, so you said Brooklyn, how many locations do you want? Or is there no
I don't
number?
have a
You
number.
don't have like a number
because I
of
want quality over quantity. I just want every single one to be badass.
different and better than the
and
last.
then better than the next.
When is Nashville opening?
Nashville, November of this year. So,
Very cool. Okay, great. Well, we'll have to come and take a look, and maybe we can do a Pilates right next to you.
Yeah.
It'll be a...
Germantown is blowing up, so yeah.
Well,
there's a lot
thank
going
you
on.
so much. I really
Of course.
enjoyed. I want to talk to you more, like after they can turn this off, and I'll just talk because I have so many questions for you.
Of course.
Bursting. But thank you so much. It was awesome meeting
thank you,
you. And
Genevieve.
you want to give a shout out? Tell us where we can find you, where we can find you, the water, where we can find your gym. How do we sign up? How do we follow you on
so it's
socials?
LegacyFit.com or drinkindio.com. Socials, Legacy Indio, No Days Off, Manning Sumner. So yeah.
And how much do we have to pay to have you to train us?
It's right now it's $500 an hour, but it'll probably go up soon. So.
Okay, so no, like you personally.
Me personally, if I'm physically training somebody, it's $500.
Great, we can do it. Okay, so now you know. If you want to be the best, you got to train with the best. You got to train with the best.
Get what you pay for, people.
Do you eat, sleep, and breathe business? Well, then this podcast is for you. I sit and talk to guests that inspire me in business, in wellness, in health. And I just can't wait to have you hear who's on the next episode, because I truly love talking to them and learning from them every single time we sit down together at this table. So if this is something that you're passionate about being an entrepreneur, about growing a brick and mortar space, an online business, a product, a concept, listen to us, subscribe below, and thank you for watching.